I think the key for me in a history course is finding where the student is at in the research process in terms of their own ability to undertake critical thinking and formulating questions and starting to think about what are the tasks involved in my research and how do I explore this further and what kinds of sources are going to work for me and so on. So I think that process of research is something that's important to inculcate. And obviously you do it differently at different levels, but getting a sense of where students are at in their self-confidence about embarking on original inquiry, I think would be the key. And so once you've got that, it's about having them prepare a research proposal or that you give specific feedback on, having them think about the research tasks and the activities involved, the bibliography and so on, again, that you give specific feedback on, and then try to see an outline. So you're coming back to their research process sequentially through the assessment. So if that was the objective here, I think is all about. I think there's that phrase, scaffolding learning. You know, you build support mechanisms into the tasks so that it's important for yourself as teacher to understand where students are at and where they're trying to get to. But then once you've got that progress happening, it's important, I think, to provide feedback and direction all the way through that process. When I was an undergraduate, I'd done a course in creative writing with the English faculty, and each week you would write a 600-word essay, and it would be blind reviewed by your classmates. And that was quite unusual in the 1980s to have this peer review process happening in the classroom, at least in my experience. And I always felt that a large part of what history students were struggling with in writing essays was simply the mechanics of clear expression. They had ideas and they understood what their requirements were, but they really struggled with how to bring the material to life and how to present it with clarity. So I came up with this idea of a research methods course in which you took students through all the phases of a research project, but you build a peer review process into it constantly. So students would form into topic groups. This was about 50 students, and so you'd have the Australian historians here, the medieval historians here, the modern American students somewhere else, and they would then develop a research problem which they felt was central to their field, and then each individual student would develop a research question within that problem. So it's group work combined with individual work, which is of course an important balance.